Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Aquarius. If Aquarius is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right. And so we have, yes, my favorite card, the Knight of Cups, which really for me, I guess, symbolically, really has a lot to do with unification with the beloved, right? Or really getting into a place in your life where you feel like you are able to navigate your emotions. You can use them for the betterment of your life. You're good at being conscious of your reactions. You know when to let it out. You know when to kind of hold it back a little bit. This is a mastering of those emotional waters. All right, so let's see how these kind of go together with the tea leaves, okay? And I want to tell you, thank you so much for deciding to click on this reading. It really, really, really is my great honor to be able to bring these messages to you. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're returning, thank you for coming back. All right, so let's take a look. We have a person standing here. You can see the head up here. Here's the torso, upper torso, the lower body, the legs down here, and hand out holding. And it looks to me much like a key. A big key, basically. We also have up here the star. Right? And we know the star card, the star archetype, is very much related to our goals, our dreams, the things that we dare think about, dream about, create in our minds. If you can imagine going outside late at night, the sky is clear, not a cloud in sight. Hopefully, you are somewhere where there's not a lot of light pollution, at least for this imagining that we're doing right now. And you go outside and you look, and there's just the endless infinite. So many stars twinkling. And you scan across and you see the beautiful Milky Way and the constellations, the easy ones to find. Like I can always find Orion, right? And you are looking and you stop because you see a star. And this is your star, at least tonight, right? This is your star. And it is just holding your attention. And as you gaze at it and it twinkles and you wonder, is that thing moving or am I just seeing things? You start to really think about, your life. You start to think about, what am I doing? What's going on? Am I working towards that thing that I knew from probably the beginning, right? Maybe even as a young child. You knew it was why you are here, why you are manifest, why you have chosen to be in a physical form. What is the work that you have here? What is that dream that you want to fulfill? It could be so many different things. Love, work, career, learning, traveling, building a beautiful art collection or a family or, whatever it might be. Now, we have the person holding the key and we have this beautiful star. Now, the star almost looks like it has a keyhole in it. So I truly believe here that this is going to be the beginning phases of actualizing that big dream that you have. Not one of the little ones, not, you know, oh, I hope that we can put like a carport in, or, you know, I want to, I don't know, I can't think of, put a carport in, that's my big dream. You know, finish the quilt I've been working on for 20 years, or, you know, go on a trip to the ocean. These are all lovely, lovely dreams and goals. But I'm talking about like the core things, right? Like your authentic will. The thing that you know you are here for. Is that a spiritual path? Is that learning to love yourself? Is that, you know, taking care of those in need? You know, whatever it is. Agape. Finding your belovedness with the divine, which is not easy, right? I think it's, you know, in the beginning when we decide, yes, I am somebody who is of faith. I am somebody who is devoted to my belief system. I am somebody who, you know, will do the different rituals and ceremonies, go to, you know, mass twice a week, or temple on every Sabbath, or, you know, whatever it is. And that stuff, it sounds easy, right? And it's maybe a little more difficult, but the real investment, I mean, the real getting in there and doing the work, that is the stuff that is unseen. That is the stuff that is spread across years and years of continuing to do the work. Even when, you know, at times you've maybe gotten away from it and you've gotten busy in your life. You know, for me, I consider myself a practitioner of magic and various strands of the occult and religion, and you know, kind of woven into my own composite system. But then I got married. I had a kid, started a business, bought a house, you know, all in a pretty short amount of time. And there are plenty of days where I ask myself, what the heck am I doing? You know, I'm busy. I don't have time for what I know the reason that I'm here. Now, I won't get too in detail about why I'm here, but yeah, it is a spiritual path. It is magical work. It is, you know, being devoted to that work. Now, sometimes our life is in such a way, the circumstances, the variables are aligned in such a way that we have to focus on other things. And that's okay. But what this is about is you returning to your purpose. And you have the key. Because no matter if you've been doing the work overtly, that is, you know, I'm focused on the task at hand. I'm studying things and doing things that, you know, very clearly have to do with this mission that I'm on. Or probably like the rest of us, right? We continue to do the work through how we live. By going through our ordeals, by having our different mishaps and our distractions and, you know, the little side quests and adventures and love stories and, you know, all these things. These are as much of the path as being squarely on it. Right? So I feel like in your journeys away from the work that you really, I feel like, hold so dear to you, you are now returning back with all this experience, with an understanding, perspective that is maybe different than the last time you were on the path, right? The last time, maybe it was 20 years ago. Maybe you were still a kid. Maybe you were kind of naive and idealistic and, you know, looking for some kind of utopian, you know, kingdom to arrive in. And you got off course a little bit and you lived a life. But now here you are returning. And you understand something about the world. You understand something about your experience as a human being, as a divine entity, as a person of spirit. And that is so important. It should not be discounted. And often we do. You know, sometimes I'm troubled myself. I think, man, I've loaded, you know, 100 loads of laundry and dishes, and in that time, how much meditation could I've gotten in? Well, that is a meditative chore. I am meditating on the life that I have. I am doing what it is that I need to do to uphold the family, the household that I've chosen. And that is part of the work. So it's not just about like, okay, all of a sudden you're back here and you're doing the dang thing, which, yeah, you are. But you're bringing with you so much experience. You're bringing with you eyes to see, okay? And I feel like you must, because you have this large key and it really is going to unlock that thing that you have been wanting to do. So whatever that is, going back to school, starting a new career, you know, making that money, finally getting to a place where you can have a relationship with your divine beloved, right? Your twin soul, or whatever they're called, twin flame. I always forget what it's called. You know, and so the other thing that I see here though is the clock, right? We can see it right here, kind of this old analog clock. And it looks to me like it's about 1:50, maybe. That's the time on there, 1:50. Now we also have some hearts. And we have, it looks like S-A, I'm going to go with W, S-A-W, maybe saw, something like saw, or maybe it's was. And that's right up here. Okay, I want to turn this. Now, we have, and this really looks to me, now this is the star and it's turned, so it is now a new formation. We have what looks like the warrior or the knight, and very much in line with that Knight of Cups energy, okay? Now, we also have a spiral right here, okay? So, to me, this really says that you have had this kind of ongoing love affair with somebody. This might be like your first love. This might be, you know, somebody that you have had a relationship on and off with. But I really feel like this is somebody that you are returning to. You kind of, and I feel like even just now, you're just like, nah, no, Lenor, not today, not on my watch. But I'm sorry to say, no, I'm happy to report that I do feel like you end up together. And I feel like you're going on this journey side by side, right? At least for the next while. So I do see some kind of reunion, some kind of making up, some kind of like reigniting that flame, that energy, that, you know, creative stream of consciousness. And I see you really, maybe it's because you've gotten a little bit older, a little bit more wise, but I feel, and the same with the person as well that we're talking about, this person that you're kind of bound to in some way. I feel like this will be the go around where you really begin to get through that labyrinth, because I feel like you both have had maybe different things going on that have caused, some problems in your relationship. But I feel like you're finally aligned in this time so that you both can really focus on getting through to the next thing, right? And doing that together. And I feel like you must be around the same age, because this does feel like kind of a joint rite of passage, okay? The other thing that I really feel is probably quite different is you have more time for each other. So I'm wondering if maybe you had children at some point and you're very busy and they're very busy, and, life just kind of, it didn't work. I feel like when you're together with this person, it's like you're so focused on one another and being together. Not a codependency, but really there is like this desire to be very close and often, right? And so I feel like this time of your life, you're going to have more time and energy to devote to this relationship. And I'm not going to say it's easy, because you have a lot of old stuff, right? There's a lot of stuff to work through. But I think you're both willing to do that. And I feel like that's part of unlocking that future, okay? Is that you're at this point where you just want to figure out how to make things good, right? Doesn't have to be like super fantastic bliss. It doesn't have to be constant warring and back and forth and bickering. Just good, right? Stable, pretty okay. I don't know about you, but I am fine. That's like totally enough for me. I've had some pretty rocky relationships in my youth. So now having a husband that like we just kind of, whatever, get along, and things are pretty dang good most of the time, that's enough, right? And that's not to say that our marriage isn't wonderful. It is. But, there are times when, it's just nice to have somebody by your side who's working along with you. You both have the same vision. You both have the same amount of willpower and devotion to the ultimate goal. And I can see that really aligning for you. Okay? Now, let's go over here. We're going to take a look. We're going to see what we have. We have some dinosaurs. Look at those dinosaurs. It looks like a little scene there. You have a long-necked one here, one right there with long necks, some little, what are the pterodactyls, like a flying dinosaur, and a little volcano up here. So I feel like this is pretty on the nose. There's something about dinosaurs. Maybe you were really into them when you were young. Maybe one of your kids were. But it does seem to be in the consciousness. Now, we also have the nut. So like an acorn or a walnut or something like this. And it really is, it feels like a bright future, or at least the hope of it. Okay. And so I feel like this is almost kind of like a little, like a wink from the universe, like a confirmation, like your loves, your dreams, your passions, that is your future. Now, I don't know that it's dinosaurs, but I feel like at some point there was this real, I don't even know, maybe an obsession with them. Maybe you were like that kid that knew all the dinosaur names, or you were really good at drawing them, or like I said, it could have been your own child who had this kind of connection. And when you think about it, it's a remembrance of a passion, seeing somebody just enthralled with something and how lovely that feels. to be able to witness that kind of curiosity and love. So I see that kind of returning, that kind of feeling. And with that acorn or nut, I definitely feel like this has so much to do with the future ahead. And you're investing in the long term, right? You're doing the work because you know one day it's really going to pay off, okay? Now we're going to do our 3 lucky numbers. Number 90, number 10, 90, 10, and, oh, no, don't jump out of my hand. 79, number 79. All right, so we'll also finish with our self-care affirmation cards, and I'm just going to flip through and stop where it feels right. My body, my home. I am at peace in my body. My body carries me through the world, and I celebrate it. I am at home and fully present in my body. I am at home and fully present in my body. All right. Well, Aquarius, I want to tell you I love you because I do. And I appreciate you so greatly. I want to also, if you are a praying person, I just want you to do a general prayer, right? I just feel this calling lately just to be praying for the general wellness of the world and those around us. There's so many things going on. I don't want to pick out any particular thing, although I do, I have to admit, I'm from California. We've been watching these fires happen. Now, I am from NorCal. I'm from Sacramento. So not Southern California. And if you're, from Northern California, you know that Southern California is like a whole other state, basically. But I feel such a kindredness to my fellow Californians. Now, I'm still like out in the Midwest now. I don't live there anymore in California, but I grew up there and I was raised there, and I spent a good deal of my life there, and I still have lots of people there. For me, yeah, this has been something that's really kind of, it pulls on the heartstrings quite a bit. But generally, the world is not an easy place, right? And so I feel like I'm really trying to get into this mode of being very, what is even the word? Really trying to be of service and being a little more altruistic in this next year. That's a big thing. The last year of my life, I moved, I got this studios all built, and my daughter's getting older, and, just a lot of stuff with our family. We've had a lot of family stuff going on, and so on. So I feel like I have been a little bit distracted. And so I just really want to get back into the frame of mind, right, where I am. I am praying more. I am thinking about the people around me. I am thinking about the world at large and the collective wellness. I never stop thinking about it, but I want to think about it more in a more direct way. So I'm just asking everybody to say a little prayer, put out some good energy, do your beautiful magic. I know that you have it. I know that it's within you. And I know that any kind of intentional placement of it into the world, it does help. I know it. You can't tell me any different. So, with that, again, I'm just going to say I love you. If you want to like, subscribe, leave a comment, I'd love to hear from you. And we'll talk in a few days. All right. Good night.